Welcome to Exception Court TV, a series of dev tutorial videos brought to you by Kevin Holditch. Hi guys, welcome to my second part of my Git series. So today we're going to cover a little bit more in depth about the add and commit commands and some of the more advanced things you can do to make your life easier. So the first thing I want to cover is removing files. This wasn't covered in the first video. So if we open up our directory that Git is controlling, we can see we've got the three text files we created in part 1, A, B and C. So if I delete c.txt and then I run git status, which remembers our command C what status we're in, we can see that Git has detected that I was tracking this file and you've now deleted it. Now to actually commit that deletion, we need to run the equivalent of git add to add the deletion to our staging area, but because this is a deletion we run git rm and then the name of the file. So you can see once I've done that and I run git status, it will now say in your staging area I have staged the deletion of c.txt. But again, nothing will happen until I actually run commit because that stamps the change. So now I'm going to run commit. So deleting c.txt is my message. Now if we go to our git-x or git extensions if you're on Windows, you can now see that the latest commit is deleting c.txt. And obviously if we go to File Explorer, that file is now gone. So one of the other things I wanted to show you was when you modify or add more than one file, so far I've only shown you git add and then file name. You can imagine if you had a project with hundreds of files in and you were tapping away for 2 days changing loads of files, you don't really want to go git add this, git add that, git add the other, because that would get tiresome pretty quickly. So Git has got a shortcut way of doing that. So let's open up those files in Sublime. So we've got A here, so make a change and then save it, which is Command S. Type some text here. So I've changed B as well. So I've now changed 2 files. So if I go back to terminal, run git status, you can see Git goes, oh, you've changed both A and B. Now the way I showed you so far is you run git add a.txt, press enter, then you do git add b.txt, press enter to stage both the files. So there's a shortcut. What you can do is you can go git add, rather than saying A or B, you can actually use wildcarding. So you could either do star.txt. That would add anything that matches the wildcard star.txt, which in this case is both of those files. So then we just commit that. So this is committing 2 files. Now if we go to the Git extensions and refresh, we can see we've committed both files. So I'm going to create another type of file now, a config file, and show you how you can commit files even if they've got different extensions, commit a whole batch of files. So let's just create a config file, config.ini. Now we have to actually add this so it's tracked by Git and commit that change before we can do the trick where we can run the add on multiple files, because the add on multiple files only works on modified files, not on tracked files. So remember from part 1, when we create a brand new file, first of all we have to tell Git, hey, I want you to track this file, and then from then on every time you change it it'll become a modified file. So let's just say we're adding config file. So let's refresh this so we know where we are, so we can see we're adding config file. Okay, so now when we list what's in that directory, we can see we've got a.txt, b.txt and config.ini. So let's just go through and make changes to each of those files. So I'm going to change a.txt, change b.txt and change config.ini, just any old gibberish in each of those. So then we just bring up git-x and the terminal. So now we're going to run git status, which remembers our go-to command to find out where we're at. Git goes, oh, I see that the files I'm tracking, you've changed all of them. You've changed a.txt, b.txt and config.ini. Now we could just run git add a.txt, git add b.txt. We could use the wildcard star.txt, but you can also run git add dot. Now dot is the wildcard for all files. So now when you run status, it will go, okay, everything you've modified, I'm going to stage that for the next commit. Here is another commit. Now it's important to note that Git will only commit changes that are staged. So to give you an example of that, let's change all 3 files again, but this time commit them in 2 separate commits, not just one. So let's go back to Sublime, change A, save it, change B, save it, change config.ini and save it. So let's go back to the terminal and bring up gitx here. On git status, Git will notice that we've modified all 3 files, but say we just want to commit a.text for now, and then we're going to commit the other 2 later. We could run git add a.text. We run git status. You will see that a.text is in the staging area and it's ready to be committed, and the other 2 files are modified, and it even says changes not staged for commit. So now when I run git commit changed A, if I run git status, it will still say these 2 files are modified. When I refresh here, A will have been committed. Now to see what's been committed in gitx, if you look at this bottom window here with my information in, if you drag this up, you can see it will show you what was changed as part of that commit. So part of that commit, we changed file A. We haven't changed file B or config.ini. Even though it's changed on disk, we didn't commit that into Git. If you look at the other commit, the last commit we did, remember we changed all 3 files, which is shown in the detail of that commit. Okay, so with the last 2 files we've modified, b.text and config.ini, I'm going to show you a little trick that allows you to skip the add stage. That is, to run an add and commit in one command. So to do this, we will type git commit minus a for add and m for message. And then we type our message, committing and adding at once. Now this will take these 2 files, add them, and then commit them straight away. So if we run that, now if we refresh gitx, we can see with the latest commit, you can see the message just here, committing and adding at once, and we can see the 2 files appeared here that we've just committed. So that wraps up part 2. Please join me for part 3, where I'll be discussing branching and merging. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you found it useful. If you want to get in touch, I'd love to hear from you. You can tweet me at KevHolditch. You can visit my blog, kevinholditch.co.uk, and you can subscribe to this channel by clicking the link down below. Cheers.